Hello, everybody. Welcome to Not Your Mom's Boozy Book Club discussion on Gallows Hill.
I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with Gallows Hill that expresses my opinion of it, but I can't.
Did it make you feel ill?
It did. It did.
Before we talk about that, I'm drinking some Cabernet.
I honestly don't know what grape I'm drinking. It's Emma's boxed wine from the fridge.
Fair.
Yeah.
Sounds delish.
Cheap gay box wine. That's the...
Not gonna lie, this is still leftover wine from our wedding.
Wow. That was good wine.
It was good wine. Actually, well, I thought we were out, and then we found another bucket with more in it.
Especially with reds, like those can just hide forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were just because we had the bucket of the wine, and then like in another bucket there were like random 2 other bottles.
That's honestly like a delight, like an anniversary gift.
Right.
Here.
So anyways, cheers.
Yeah.
We're drinking wine because this takes place at a haunted winery.
It would have literally been sacrilegious for us to drink any other beverage tonight.
Whatever. Other than maybe, was it bourbon? That she had talked about like how she didn't really drink wine.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, that's true. But I still felt like this was my best option.
Yeah, definitely. I decided to go with the red because there was a part at the end where she was like, she's covered in a red liquid again. Only this time it wasn't blood.
They did mostly red, right?
Yeah.
I thought that, yeah. I just won't drink red wine. Like it's just like lukewarm and bleh. I'm a white gal.
It's funny because I used to be the same way, and I used to only drink white. And then it was like 2 years ago, I had a really good glass of Cabernet, and then like I got stuck on it.
Okay.
Because I won't drink most red wines, but Cabernet is one of my favorites.
Okay. I'd be willing to try because it's been a while since I tried, but I definitely like
I really don't like Pinot Noirs.
Okay.
I feel like I don't know, it don't taste good.
You could pretty much hand me any kind of white and I'd be like, this tastes okay. I'm not a big fan of the super dry ones, but
okay.
Yeah.
I have to be eating something to have white wine now.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I can't just like sip on it.
Or does it give you a headache?
A little bit, but just like the way that it tastes.
Okay.
It's fair. Like too forward tasting. And then I'm like, okay, I need like chicken or fish or something.
Too forward tasting. When you drink it, it like hits on you and it's like, whoa, hey.
Well, it like hits you like right in the like top of your mouth.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that kind of lingo. I'm just like, this one tastes a little fruity. I like that.
My culinary career started as a bartender at a very wine-heavy bar.
Oh, okay.
So we had to learn about all of these things.
I remember the first time I did table service at a fancy event with wines. Like I was pouring them, and I didn't drink any wine at this point. And the guy's like, "Is this very dry?" And I was like, "Sir, it's a liquid."
That reminds me of the time when I tried to tell somebody that they had overcooked their fish at a restaurant, and they said, "Well, it's mahi, it's a dry fish," and I'm like, "Fish are in the water,
so
they're actually by definition not dry."
Sometimes our brains just go literal, okay?
Like, okay. No, but I used to host, like, we would do monthly wine dinners, and we would like do food pairings with different wines throughout the night. So I had to like really be able to explain what a wine was.
I had to learn because...
For once, that's not my dogs.
That was
anyways, welcome. We have Skylar here, DNF this months ago. Excited to hear y'all's thoughts.
Honestly, proud of you for making that choice.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Ro. Didn't read it here for the company. Nice.
And I would recommend not doing so.
I'll go get a grape flavor packet to add to my water for wine.
Perfect. On brand.
Love this energy.
Yes.
All right. So let's start overall, non-spoiler. What did you rate it?
2 stars.
Okay. I'm giving it 3 stars, this is my 4th Darcy Coates and my by far least favorite.
My overwhelming feeling was really surprised because I know how strongly you love the other one. And we've talked about this a bit,
Yeah.
off the stream. I know how much you love the other ones, and I was like, really, Brianna?
So, no, this felt so much more like almost phoned in.
Yeah.
Like it's not surprising in the slightest. It tried to go gory instead of scary.
It feels like the work I do on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm a little checked out. I'm not going to lie. It's not my best stuff.
It also feels, and I don't know if it's because this is technically her newest one.
Is it?
It feels a little bit more commercial horror.
Yeah.
Than
like
some of her other stuff.
You don't need to think
what's
too
really
hard about
funny
it.
is there's a lot of similarities, not in plot, but in just in like some of the story points to How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix,
which was a commercial hit.
Right. Well,
Ooh.
but Gallows Hill was written first.
Oh.
Yeah, well. This actually made the Goodreads Choice Awards in 2022.
Okay, interesting.
Did it? 2022? 2021. Now I'm confused.
Rose comment. Oh my god.
Please hold. Because I remember people talking about it last year. 2022. Okay. I don't know that it did very well. It did in fact only get 3,500 votes.
Okay, well, that's 3,500 more than I would have given it.
And got 12th, so it didn't make the top 10.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Not that Goodreads Choice Awards is
any indicator of quality.
Accurate representation.
No, it's not at all.
But the fact that this made it into the Goodreads Choice Awards,
it was popular,
means that it was popular, but also that it's more commercial.
Yeah, because that's really what it's a test of, is what's a commercial success in the genre rather than quality.
And I would say that if you're not a person that reads a lot of horror,
it's accessible.
It's accessible.
Yeah, it's accessible, and it's also very info dumpy. Like, it really hands you the answers. At no point did I ever feel like I had, and I actually tried to make guesses and stuff, and every time I would like make a guess, it would just tell me, like, there was no payoff because it would just tell me what was happening, and I was like, oh. Right. So I think that, like, if you don't want to go in and have to like guess and not have the answers, because I know some people do get frustrated with like not knowing what's going on. I think this would be maybe an okay read for that kind of reader. Yeah, but I think going into it, not like having read several other Darcy Coates, I think may have even been more of a disappointment because I was expecting great things from this. I'm sure it was. You went from like 5 stars is the best book I've ever read to no, but really, yeah, you did. Yeah, I was just like, oof. Yeah, no, this one. When I read Voices in the Snow and even The Whispering Dead, which is her other series, there's that like at the end, like 75-80% mark, there's another twist that like throws everything on its head. And I was expecting it in this one because you were like, oh, I was bored. And I was getting to that point where I was like, okay, I am bored. We're 300 pages in. I know exactly what's going on the entire time. And I was like, but we're still gonna get that twist. Yeah, I kept waiting for a ball to drop of like, it can't be. Honestly, I kept feeling like the people were gonna betray her. Me too. Me too. That they lulled you into a false sense of security. But no, it was just everything was literally exactly as it seemed the whole novel. I was actually, my thought was that the people were not actually people, and she was imagining it the whole time. Ooh, see, yeah, like that would have been something. Yeah. But it's literally just like the book establishes a status quo from like the second or third chapter and runs with it. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Can we shake it up? Yeah, no, it was a very commercial, like, here is your first horror book. It can only go up from here. Yeah, and what I will give it is that there's good atmospheric writing. Very much so. And that is something she's really known for. And that's not I know that you like that more than me. Like, that's just an area where it matters more to you than to me. But I can see if you like that, this would be here, don't think too hard, just have a spooky time. I think that's the vibe I got from this.
Exactly. Yeah. But even because like I think for probably the first 150 pages, I was here for the atmosphere, the writing, the vibes.
Yeah.
And then it got repetitive.
It was so fucking repetitive. Every night something spooky happened. She would go to her employees the next morning and be like, what was that? And they would tell her point blank every single thing that happened with a historical explanation. And then it would happen again the next night.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Wow, I don't even have to be autistic for this pattern recognition to like I get it. Like,
right?
Yeah.
And I just wanted them to do more with that like curse. Because I think you could have done a lot with it.
Yeah, and I think the way, and I guess we'll get to this in the spoilery section, but the way it was broken made me like want to vomit. I was so mad. I was like, fuck this.
It felt so YA.
It was, yes! It felt middle grade. It was like so dumb, so much plot magic. And I really thought that the ending was the least sad. The thing is that I think the first 100 pages I enjoyed, and then it just
yeah, pretty much, which is really sad.
Which again is why it feels like work that I do on a Friday, where I get up Friday morning, I'm like, bop, 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 I'm working, and then by 3 p.m. I'm like,
her complaining about her parents was annoying to me. Yes, and also never really understood.
It never got. There's no resolve there. No, like, there's no closure.
Yeah. I will be honest, I skim read the last like 50 pages today.
Absolutely, so did I. Absolutely, I did. There is sprint proof of it on Brittany's channel.
I was like, this live show is gonna go.
Yeah, I read 80 pages this sprint.
Yeah. It's a book that exists and we read it.
Yeah, I know, totally. Wow.
And I'm sorry that had to be your first Darcy Coates. We should have just reread Voices in the Snow.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to do a reread at some point. Like, not even of that, but just of something for one of us, because rereads definitely give you different perspectives. But,
I'm currently rereading Delilah, so that's a thing.
You know what I just thought, though?
What?
The new Darker Shade of Magic book.
Oh,
I reread that shit. But you know what? That's not the point of this. That's not the point of this exercise. But I think a reread would be, in general, interesting to compare somebody's first time to somebody's reread experience. I think that'd be interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, we have very little non-spoilery thoughts.
We do. We have some comments, though.
We do have some comments.
We need to draw it out here.
Sorry. Sometimes artists do need their money. I am very curious because I have the arc of her book that comes out this summer.
Yeah.
Which confusingly is called Dead of Winter. I don't know.
Jeez.
I'm like, I don't want to read this when it's 100 degrees.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if your AC breaks.
No, I need to crank it all the way down so that I can
you immerse yourself. Okay.
But I'll be curious to see what that's like, because this is just the meh.
Yeah. But you know what? People are allowed to have stinkers. Like, not every book is gonna be a hit.
Fair. Hello, Neva.
Hey, Neva.
Haven't read much horror, and even I was like, nope, bored a few chapters in.
Yeah.
I do think that if you are not someone who can, this is how do I put this? If you're not someone that focuses on the writing and the prose of the book, I don't know that Darcy Coates is the author for you.
Which makes a lot of sense, because I am primarily focused on characters and the journey, like the characters. So I
think he normally does a lot better a job at characters.
Margot was a bit of an empty shell.
Margot, literally 200 pages in, I had to go back and look at the back of the book and be like, Margot is the main character, right?
What I know about Margot is that she sucked at everything and then she inherited a winery. Like that is her life story.
And like her parents abandoned her.
Right? And I feel like it's so convenient when authors like, she just has no memories of her childhood, because then you don't have to write how that shit impacts her.
Yeah.
She doesn't remember. She just doesn't know.
I will say every single book that I've read of hers has some sort of amnesia, forgetting the past type of beginning.
Isn't it so much more interesting when you can write the trauma and how it impacts them from birth? Let me tell you.
I will say I don't think that necessarily always belongs in a horror.
Valid.
Like it belongs in a romance or a like that kind of thing, where you could actually like really build out an arc. Horror in general is mostly for the plot.
Yeah, and
I wonder if that's what she was trying to do here. If she was just trying to be like, okay, we're not going to focus on the characters as much. We're not going to focus on. We're going to focus on a plot,
and that's a valid.
That's just not her strength.
Yeah, it's a valid experiment. Do we need to give a shit about the main character to enjoy the novel? My
turns out yes.
Is yes.
Sometimes though, because I feel like with some horrors you don't care about the main character.
Yeah, I even think I can vibe if I hate the main character. Like if I'm like, oh,
but you just can't be ambivalent.
Yeah, this was just like, I really do not care what happens to her. Please switch to the perspective of the dog. Like I don't.
One of the zombies.
Whatever. Honestly, I would take the like weird TV as the
I also would have liked flashbacks.
Yes,
that could have been fun.
This a lot, yeah.
And I also think that this might do better in a visual media.
150%. That puppet scene in person, in your eyeballs.
Whoa! Like this is an HBO Max miniseries.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you. I think a lot of books that
whoever directed The Last of Us, here's your next one.
Correct. A lot of books that I think are mediocre novels because they spend too much time with the atmosphere and not enough time with the characters, you can make really cool visual art with. Right,
because you can dedicate more to the characters because you don't have to describe the atmosphere because it's
there.
Seeing it.
Yeah, and and then when you hire an actor could take an empty shell of a Margot and make it something, because that's their whole job.
Yeah,
is to like do little things with their face that make you care about them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Although when you did send me the text message about content warning, I was expecting much worse.
Honestly, I don't know. Okay, so first of all, I sent it before I knew that the zombie dog wasn't the dog. At first, I was like, wait a fuck it. I was like, oh, Brianna's not gonna like that. Because I was like, here's the two things I know that Brianna doesn't like: zombies and animal abuse. So I was like, you might not love this.
I was expecting like mutilation, and so like when I got there, like maggots, cool.
Okay, but I wasn't sure, so I was like, I'm just gonna say something.
Yeah.
Anyway. I didn't really care. I was like, oh, you know what? It's good golden retriever representation at the end of the day.
There you go.
They had a strong line of Goldens, hanging out with the family and being resistant to the fear of ghosts. That goes to show their overall bomb-proof temperament. I'm happy with it.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Marsh is a good name for a golden retriever. I was happy.
It really kind of is.
It is.
I was like, okay. Maybe not.
Sorry?
Clementine, maybe not.
Clementine would be a much better duck toller. Like small and orange.
I'm just thinking of it as a call name.
Clemmy! Clemmy, come! Clemmy, heal! Clemmy, give me the duck!
That is Alexis from Schitt's Creek just trying to call a dog.
Clemmy!
Like, come here!
Like, no! No, quicker!
Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. I liked your writing, but didn't keep me thinking nothing. That's fair. I'm trying to think of like what might be one that works better. Obviously, like Voices in the Snow was like perfection for me.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that one also started slow, but there were like every time you kind of felt like it was starting to get slow, there would be another twist.
Right.
Like that's a 4-book series with the same plot.
And yet, and yet somehow
interesting. And then the only other one that I had read is The Whispering Dead, which is more haunted, like more ghost. But even then was more interesting than this one. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's like her ghost stories I don't like. So I definitely want to read another haunted house one.
Okay.
See if it's maybe that's just not her strong subgenre.
Yeah, potentially she just does better with other stuff.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. The biggest problem is I didn't care about the main character. Yeah.
I need that too. I need to connect.
And the other characters, like the other employees, couldn't tell them apart.
I only knew Kant because that is a Swiss philosopher. And that is my only reason for him being so it's not even that he was recognizable, it's that his name reminded me of a thing I learned in German class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have enough natural empathy to care if bad things are happening to bland people who just I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like I need you to make me give a shit about why it's bad that the ghosts are seeking their revenge. Because most of the time I'm kind of on the ghost side.
Right.
It's a revenge thing. So
I also kind of wish we would have gone. I was kind of thinking that they were going to go into some sort of historical significance.
I really thought that was coming.
Especially like with the nooses. Like we were going to get into like, I don't know, slaves rebelling as
That's
ghosts.
what I kind of thought at first. The lynches, I'm like, is this about like lynching?
Yeah.
And
because
then
it was really starting to give me When the Reckoning Comes vibes. Have you read
which
that?
I was kind of concerned. I don't know anything about Darcy Coates, but I was like, oh, are we
Pretty sure she's a white woman.
Okay. I was like, are we handling race topics here? But
so like I guess it's a good thing she probably didn't.
Correct. However, the twist I was not, but they still could have done like an interesting perspective on like law and society and whatever. And it was still just like, nah, the brother just wanted money. And I was like, oh. Yeah. So why nooses then? Because that's really powerful symbolism.
Right.
Like really powerful.
Yeah.
And usually that's not how like murdering a family member is not usually done that way. So
yeah, it's more like justice and justice.
Yeah, like it's a symbolic killing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it was a choice. It was a choice. And I wonder, like, it almost feels like she started going in a direction and then maybe her publisher or her editor or whatever was like, oh, maybe we don't do that. Let's go this way. And instead of rewriting the beginning, she just left it.
Also, if I wanted it to be nooses and hanging, a vineyard is not what I think of. Like maybe an orchard?
Yeah, that's also true.
Right? Like it just didn't.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Although there is a large tree in the front of it.
There is, which is convenient because I don't think it's ever addressed in the actual novel. But because it's on the cover, we are tricked into believing that it is there.
Yeah, I honestly, like, if I wouldn't have known in the synopsis that this was a winery, like, I'm just like, it doesn't feel like a winery.
It doesn't really matter that it's a winery because she never ends up getting over her thing with wine. Like, she never ends up drinking wine, which I kind of thought would be part of it. We don't stick around long enough to see her make the business work, and we only meet 3 employees. So, yeah.
Anyways, shall we talk about some spoilery things? At least free reign for spoils. If you are leaving us before the spoilery part,
should we talk about what we're reading next month first?
Yes. Do you have it? Do I need to grab it?
I don't have it right now. I have to go get it with my Indigo birthday month discount.
Nice.
Yeah, 20% off just because I'm born in June.
We're reading Court of the Undying Seasons by A.M. Strickland.
I'm very excited.
Is YA gay vampires, I believe.
Yep, it's all I need.
Actually, I'm just assuming that it's gay.
I'm pretty sure it is because A.M. Strickland is like hella queer.
Yeah.
I don't think A.M. Strickland just I don't know if they do heterosexual. Yeah.
I mean, they are married to a man.
Right, but I think they're pansexual.
Are they?
I think so.
Okay.
Pan or bi.
I knew they were non-binary, but I wasn't sure about.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. Also, I'm not here to like speculate.
We are not the queer police.
However, just as like a heads up, A.M. Strickland's partner, husband, what I don't know what their title is, was in a really bad accident, and like is now going to be like receiving a year's worth of physical therapy. So if you can buy their book, support them.
Buy their book, yeah. They need the royalties right now. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
They have I saw it on Twitter. I follow them on Twitter, and I saw it happened about a month ago. And basically, they were like, "By the way, my book comes out in a few weeks. I can't do anything to promote it right now. I'm a little busy."
That's scary.
I think it was a car accident, maybe.
Oh man, I'm looking this up now.
It's stressful. Like,
yeah, that is super stressful.
So, anyways, if you can buy their book, sprints will be tomorrow. Sprints are tomorrow. Today is book club discussion. That's okay, Skylar. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm happy that you're reading it. Yeah. Anyways,
is Zila back up?
I don't know.
Because it was like gonzo for a while there.
Really?
Yeah, it got shut down. And I was like, oh, rip. That's the only place you can find like African fiction in North America sometimes.
Really?
So, yeah, like some just like smaller published African books just don't make it over here, right?
That makes sense.
So, yeah. So I was like, no. But yeah.
Okay. Also, but it's like an actual library though, right? Like it's not a pirate.
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, well, you're still probably giving royalties to them but if it's pirating, then you're probably not. Yeah. But it's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, well, if it's literally unavailable for me to buy.
Well, yeah, specifically, yeah. For that. Okay, so now we are free to talk about spoilers.
The ending sucked.
The ending did suck. Yeah, okay. I've actually never used Z-Lib, so I don't know.
I enjoy it, but I don't know. Z-Lib, are you back, baby? Oh, it just looks a bit different. Okay.
So I actually don't have a ton of thoughts about this book.
Really, literally, no.
I really don't.
I think I have like bookmarks in my brain of things. The puppet scene was the only good. That was the only scene in the book where I was like, "This is good."
After this, reading this after How to Sell a Haunted House, I think that one does puppets better.
What? Puppets? Everybody has puppets?
The puppet is like the main character.
Oh.
It is like very much the like, yeah, it is the villain of the story.
Okay. See, I was so intrigued. I haven't read How to Sell a Haunted House because I have a negative past experience with a Grady Hendrix book.
I don't know that you would actually like it.
Yeah, probably not. I don't like his writing very much, but I liked the puppet scene. That was the only scene that I liked.
Yeah, so. I did like the puppet scene, and I think I really liked the first 150 pages. And the funny thing is that we read about that much on sprints, and I was still like, okay, this isn't the best one. Like, it's not as good as Voices in the Snow, but it's still really good. And then I didn't pick it up for probably a week because we had Smut in right after.
Right.
And so I didn't pick it up. And then you're like, I gave it 2 stars. I was so bored. And I was actually worried. I went and looked at your review because I was like, oh no, is there something problematic?
I'm bored.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm bored. I'm like, okay, good. At least it's not like there was something like offensive.
No, I would have wanted something offensive because then we could have talked about it.
Right.
No,
but then I started going and then I'm like, okay, yeah, me too. I'm like, why are we doing the same thing over and over and over again?
Over and over and over. It was An Exercise in Insanity and Info Dumping. Which is so funny because then all the info dumping we get doesn't even matter when the end result is that she finds a journal conveniently left there that nobody has read with all the answers.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's the laziest thing I've ever read.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you just use some fancy font to make it look spicy. Like, no. No.
It's true. I am curious what the audiobook is like because I wonder if the audiobook would have made it like more tense.
If Tom Hiddleston read it, I would enjoy it.
Fair.
4 stars. Not 5. 4.
4. Why would Tom Hiddleston be reading a woman's voice?
I don't know. I just think he could make it creepy.
He could. But yeah, because like I think sometimes the audiobook definitely has like it will add to the atmosphere sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe just like ramped up the tension.
And it could have added the sound of the bells.
Yeah.
Which would have been cool.
Yeah. And I think my biggest problem with it was because it had so many repetitions. But she kept like getting out of it, and there was an easy explanation. Like she was being gaslit the whole fucking time.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like not even cleverly.
Right. But like the tension never got like we never got up here. It was like, oh, we're a little bit nervous. Oh, but that's because of this.
I also
it's because of this.
Fully expected. So I'm Margot. I suck at everything. Okay, I'm Margot and I'm useless. And I show up and everyone's like, yeah, come stay. Run the winery. It'll be great. And then I learned that the longer you're there and spending any amount of time there curses you. And my parents abandoned me for my own good, but you guys just let me come back. I'd be so mad at them. And Margot was just kind of like, or nor.
Well, what confuses me is that the guy, the Kant, whatever his name is, guy, he knew about this curse, right?
They all do.
They all know about it. But yet they were like, yes, come to the winery.
They're like, we care about you so much. We remember you as a kid. We love you. And we know, like, we respect that your parents did this to protect you. Come on back.
Whereas if they actually cared about her, they would have been like, go away while you can.
Right. If they had been awful to her and then we had found out it was because of this, I would have liked them more.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think that actually might have even made the plot a little bit better because you would have been like, why are they keeping me away from my parents' house? Why don't they want me to be there? It's the same thing. My parents did the same thing and now they're doing it. What is going on? I need to be there.
Right, but they were just like, oh, come on, run the winery, it'll be great. Oh, yeah, now you're cursed. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Which is why the entire time I thought they weren't real.
That's why I thought they were evil. I was like, you guys are bad people. Like, okay, so maybe they're not like the villains, but they're bad people.
Right?
Like, they're not good.
I was fully convinced by the end that they were like, oh, they're actually not even there.
The
they
only
are a figment of her imagination.
Was the golden retriever. I was like, I understand your motives. They are fetch. That's all I need to know.
That's all you need to know. It's true.
I was just imagining Porto the whole time, but
the funeral was weird.
I don't understand why anybody showed up. Because then later, it was like nobody talked to them. They didn't even want to do their grocery deliveries. They didn't want them to come to town. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like the doctor only shows up if there's a body.
Right. So it's like the police, like 911 ignores their calls. Why are they coming to the funeral?
Right? I'm so confused.
And also, if the employees were so into it and loved them so much, then why didn't they speak? Like, it was inconsistent.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much like she started writing a book and then forgot what she was doing.
My work on a Friday.
Or like possibly that she wrote 200 pages and then set it aside for a year and then came back and was like, okay, I'm gonna keep going.
That would make a lot of sense. And then she's like, fuck, I didn't actually figure out how we're gonna break the curse. Apologize to the ghosts. Just say you're sorry. That'll erase. That will, because if there's one thing I know about systemic injustice and bad history and generational trauma, it's that if you just say sorry one time, it's gone.
In all of literature, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I was literally cackling. She was just like, I'm sorry, ghost. I didn't think it was fair that you all had to get murdered. And I was like, really? That's the conclusion?
Like, what the
what am I reading?
So anyway,
I literally thought she was gonna off herself. Like when she was like, I know what I have to do. I was like, oh, she's gonna end her bloodline.
yeah.
That would have been a decent conclusion of like, oh well, they like stole the land and they're living here. She's like, I'm ending it, and that would have set the employees free. Which again, they don't deserve it, but whatever. But no. But no.
I definitely wanted more of the lore and the curse and the like how it affected other people. But there's like 2 sentences about like, yeah, I can't even go visit my sister anymore.
If like, I leave, I get a headache. Oh no. Not a
like
headache.
that one part-time employee that called 2 months later and they were at their funeral.
Okay, listen, Darcy, if I go 30 minutes without a cup of tea, I get a headache. Am I fucking cursed? No, it's just addiction.
Maybe that was the problem this week.
Y'all are drinking too much red wine. That is why you can't leave. You're dependent.
This is called alcoholism, my friends.
Just stay out of the grapes. Stop consuming the product.
So true. So true. Anyways, do you have any other thoughts? Because I don't really. This is gonna be a very short live show. Will you read another one from Darcy?
I would try the one that you specifically gave 5 stars.
Okay.
I don't know if I will. I'm saying I would.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't try one that you haven't read first yet, because I feel like because we have such similar opinions on this one, I feel like I can trust that the other one.
I was so worried that we were gonna have differing opinions because you finished it and I still hadn't like continued on. Yeah, and I was like, oh no, like this is gonna be like a, I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
Are we gonna be able to be friends? Like, I
was like, oh, this is gonna be. I told Margaret, I think, because we were on Friends Wednesday night, and I was like, yeah, I think this might be the first one that we don't agree on because we've disliked books before.
We literally have agreed on every other choice. Yeah, we have different ratings, but we have the same feelings.
Yeah.
And
our ratings are at least like they're never more than 1 star apart.
No, it's usually like a 2 versus
this.
3.
I think is still even the farthest one.
Probably, yeah.
Because other than like the pledge, you gave 4, I gave 3.5.
Yeah, I think I gave the Fiancé Farce a bit of a higher rating than you. Yeah.
No, because we went down on that one.
Oh, you're right. We edited it.
Yeah.
No, it's. Yeah, that's why I would try the one that you rated 5 stars because I genuinely believe it would have to be so much better than this because I was even like, how could Brianna like this? Like, it's so boring. But you know what, though? The only other thing that did get me thinking is that you really liked Gallant and I did not.
This is true.
And that was a similar, like, it's a haunted house. There's ghosts. It's mostly about the atmosphere. But that one was better than this.
Yeah, it was more cohesive than this. This one was messy.
Which one did I rate 5 stars? I started by rating the Fiancé Farce 5 stars because of the gay feelings I was having, and then I lowered it because we figured out some issues.
And then Small Miracles was 5 stars.
Small Miracles was a unanimous 5 stars for us. Yeah. By Olivia Atwater.
February's was a unanimous 1 or 2 stars.
Oh my god, you reminded me of that book. Now I have to go to therapy. Jeez. God. Yeah.
Sorry, bro. See what I did there?
That was very good. Yeah, I would recommend anything by Olivia Atwater if you're looking for Good shit.
100%.
Yeah.
Their pirate book is coming out. It's officially starting again.
So we're gonna read that here.
Yeah, gay steampunk futuristic
Beautiful.
pirates. Yeah,
Sounds like it's perfect for both of us.
100%. Yes, I do want to read the mermaid one. Yeah, is it from below, down below, something from below. That one sounds interesting, and that one, like, I feel like unanimously people have loved. What's your thoughts on the Saga comic series?
I love Saga.
I've only read like the first 4.
Which one? I think it was volume 8 or 9. Like sent me into a catatonic state. Like, I can't even describe. Somewhere on my channel, there's a video of me drunk reacting to the entire series.
Nice.
I would kill myself and everyone I love for Lion Cat, and I don't even like cats. I don't like children, but somehow I like the children in this. I am so deeply affected by what happened to Prince Robot the Fourth that it makes me. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go to therapy about this too. Thank you for reminding me.
Thanks, Joelle.
Oh my God, Prince Robot.
Maybe you should reread those, and it might spin you out of your tailspin. Current tailspin.
That's actually a really good idea because comics are easy.
It might get you out of this tailspin you're in.
Yeah, the other one I think that I wanted to try was The Best Men or whatever. Rose suggested it, said it was really good.
The which one?
The Best Men. Here, let me go on Goodreads.
Is it a comic?
No, it's just a rom-com but gay, and honestly, that's what we need right now. Yeah, Best Men by It's loading. Sydney Carger.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I also heard that Gungle was a really cute gay.
I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah.
But again, I don't like kids.
Yeah, but like, it's fair.
Like, are you Christopher Diaz? No? Then you're.
But maybe this kid is. Maybe this kid is. You never know.
I've been burned before.
Oh, perfect. 20%.
Yeah, you were recommending it. That one.
I like the cover.
Yeah, right?
It's very gay.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, I could dip my toe into this and see if it gives me some of the feelings that I am looking for. Yeah. Saga definitely does not.
No, but it's different feelings.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's what you need is new feelings.
I just need a man with a TV face that really wants to be a good dad.
Anyways, that's all my thoughts on Gallows Hill. It was fine. It was a very mediocre book.
I would go so far as to say it was bad.
Listen, I read Shrek Smut last weekend. I'm not so liberal with my calling a book bad anymore.
Wow. Okay. All right. This being the only book I have read in a significant amount of time, I thought it was bad.
Fair.
But yeah, compared to Shrek Smut, you're like, wow, this is at least not that.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is not that.
It is not that.
It is also not the worst book we have read for this book club. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Second worst.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
But it's not the worst.
It's not the worst. Mostly because it just wasn't offensive.
And yeah, and I actively was rooting against the main character for that one. I was actively rooting just for something to happen in this one.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right, Prince Robot, just like I'm never gonna recover, man. I read that in 2018, and I still think about Prince Robot and get like a hitch in my breath, like it's some deep childhood trauma that I have.
I think you need to go binge read all 10 of them now.
That's a great idea. That honestly, that would get my book count back up.
It would.
I think I'm 16 or 17 books behind. So,
thanks.
Yeah. No, you know what, Prince Robot, that's a great. Maybe I'll just not read volume 9. Maybe I'll just read the first 8 and then I can live in a good world.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We haven't scheduled our June sprints for Court of the Undying season. That is the name of the book.
Correct.
But they will be on my channel on a weekend sometime. Yeah. Anyway. And then we'll be on Cal's channel for the discussion.
Because vampires are my thing.
Really, just because that's how they work.
I know.
All right. Anyways, any other last thoughts?
No.
Okay.
Not a single one.
No thoughts, just vibes.
Prince Robot, really. Honestly, main character of this.
There you go. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us for this brief discussion.
Just a quick chat.
Quick chat. Hopefully next month we will have more to talk about. Okay.
I feel like because it's YA gay vampires, we definitely will.
Oh,
even if it's terrible, we will.
Even if it's terrible.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.